Hey, what's up, James? I was trying to set something else up before streaming. It's a different streaming software, but that did not work out. Oh yeah. So I bought some stuff. That and this and I'm hoping this primer will be good. It's a bit expensive, but hopefully if it does what I want, it'll be worth the price. How much do you think expensive is, James? I'm curious as to where is your I guess taste ain't exactly the right word, but I guess your money pockets. 100? What do you mean 100? $100? Or 100 Australian dollars, which would be about 50 cents. Australian. Actually, I need to do a conversion. Find out how much is 100 Australian dollars. How much? Well, I guess. Um, you said you already painted all your stuff, so I'm assuming you have a primer, right? For your models. Trying to get rid of this tape. There we go. So what kind of primer do you use? Oh my God, what the hell? I can't open this thing. What the? Oh, well, there's your problem. I don't know if that's a good thing. Already has all that white stuff on the bottom. The thing's not even connected. I don't want to push down on it because I'm inside. I don't want to inhale this stuff. Ooh, so how much is the Games Workshop spray paint? Games Workshop spray paint is super expensive. So how much is GW paint over there, though? I know it's probably a little bit more expensive than it is anywhere else. I've always seen like Australians. Whenever I watch Auspex Tactics, all the prices of stuff over there seems to be a lot higher than everywhere else. It's really crazy. paint on a model. Let's paint that black and see what it looks like. What about how much is it over there? How much is it over there? Geez, what in the world that just came out my mouth? Kind of curious. Oh, I forgot about that. I gotta clean this up. Man, there's a lot of setting up I have to do today. You just so happen to know, 35? Yeah, I think in the US here it's like 20 bucks or $24 for a freaking can of GW. Let me see how much. Oh, gotcha. I mean, if you know how to use it wisely, like be very light with the coats and get it right, you know, you can really stretch the stuff. But getting to that point takes a lot of effort. Well, not effort, but a lot of know-how, I guess you could say. See if I can't just strip off the top layer here. The dust out of here. There we go. Perfect. Good as almost new. Hold on, let me. I'm have to look at that. Hold on, I was too busy with that. Hold on, I'm going to see. I think you can buy it on at our paint and build. Paint, maybe paint. It's under paint. So paint should base air. What the hell? Um, dry. Hold on. So they have dry air, technical, contrast, layer, shade, base, and is this a spray can? I don't know what this top one is. Can size 400 milliliters. I think this is the can. I think that is the can. Because let me take a look at the base. Because it does look like a can, but it's a small can. What the heck? 12 milliliters. So yeah, holy smokes! Don't tell me what. 400 milliliters. What the heck size is that? Hold on, give me a second here. Hold on, let me fix this up real quick. Alright, let me see my spray can here. How much is this one? Great, it says 340 grams or 12 ounces. What's that in milliliters? Um, 12, oops, 12 ounces, 2 milliliters, there we go. 354 milliliter, yeah, milliliter. Huh. Well, that's a little bit more then, I guess. Okay, so okay. But it's $24 though for slightly more. Oh, hey, Sorry, I was looking at another website. Beat the World Eaters again with line claws. Angron came back and made this charge around fourth. But it wasn't enough. Even the secret mission couldn't do it for him. What was his list though? I think, if you have pictures and stuff, post on a Discord. Um, the under I think it's game or something. Hold on, let me open it up real quick. Okay, posted under gameplay. I mean, like if you see my, I guess, outside of the live on this one, I do have my, um, I usually have my what you call it, like my gameplay up. It's kind of a bit different, and I need to improve upon it for sure. But you can explain kind of like what's going on in the pictures, the different turns and whatnot. But James, yes, $24 for 400 milliliters a spray can. It seems that's expensive. That is super expensive. As a matter of fact, let me change it to Australian dollars and see how much that is. Actually, we can do it here. Let's see, Australian. Okay, it's loading. It's taking its time. How is that lucky? Do explain how is that lucky? That's, 320 points Crusader makes him. Yeah, because that reroll, that one reroll you get is really good with just having single models. And obviously, if you have a squad, you want to use that for your heavy weapons. So they've got bumped up of a 50% win rate. Hey, hey, one of our best units got nerfed, even though we were at a 40% win rate. Which was the aggressor squad. At least according to a person who kind of keeps up with this stuff, he was saying that there's this Ultramarines guy that whenever he plays, whatever army he, well, not whatever army he plays, maybe whatever army he plays, or whatever squad he plays, if he's even if he didn't make it to the top 10, I think he made it to the top 8. They end up nerfing the thing that did really well in this army, which just tends to be Space Marines. So at a 40% win rate, we got a nerf on one of our best units at a 40% win rate. And I remember them upping the aggressor squad. I'm like, what the hell? Why did they get a nerf, dude? We're freaking 40% win rate. How are we getting nerf right now? And mind you, this is not a non-chapter compliant Space Marine. This is literally regular Space Marines, and the aggressor squads did so well that they got nerfed, even though we are at a 40% win rate. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? We're getting nerfed, and we're not even at the 45% win rate like they want us to be. It's just like, nah, I need to go down further down. The 40% is too high for you, Space Marines. You need to go to 35%, then we're gonna be okay. But yeah, because I bought 6 aggressors because I like their twin link stuff, and with Oath of Moment, I got full rerolls to hit and wound. But then all of a sudden they freaking got a nerf with their points. I'm like, Jesus. Did you hire your got a balance with intent on making some double the manpower for balance convert? Oh my god. They need to kind of like encourage like a lot of these YouTube tabletop people get on their opinion on that too. I think they have. I'm not exactly sure how much of an input they took on theirs. But mind you, this nerf was kind of a little bit back. Can't remember when. But yeah, it was really crazy. It's like, why the hell is freaking Space Marines getting nerfed, and we're not even at the 45% win rate? And according to the one person I play with, he kind of keeps track with it a little bit. It's like because there's this one guy he usually does really good, and anytime he oh crap, I gotta go back to my book bag. Anytime he plays and does decent, they nerf whatever unit he has that does well. Like, well, ain't that some shit? Let's see if that page finally loaded. Oh, it did, but it ended up taking me out of the paint. Let's see if I can just open it up there. Nope. More. Paint. Paint. Oh, god dang it. It switched back to American. It switched back to USA. It's, oof. It's 36 now. Troy. It's $36 now. James, sorry. I still get you confused, James, with Troy. I don't know why. That's the fire discipline problem where 4 or 5 squads got nerfed instead of an enhancement. Then in the end, it killed the enhancement anyway. Yeah, they didn't have enough manpower on the balancing. It's getting much better in the future. How long it'll take for them to fix everything? Yeah. I mean, they did actually, yeah, they did nerf the fire discipline. They nerfed it, like especially recently now with this balance update, and it's so bad. It's kind of bad in my opinion, especially for the cost now. It's like they nerfed it, but they didn't well, they didn't buff the points for it. So it's worse. It's useless. It's too expensive for what it does. Essentially, all it does now is sustain hits. The reroll for advance is just stupid. It's nice, but it's not worth 40 points. And then they also nerf the biologist because of that. So now the thing that they were trying to nerf in the first place is nerfed to the ground, but they didn't change the points back. So the biologist is more than what it was because of that combo, but its points never went back. But I don't know. Maybe they're looking into it. I don't know. I'm gonna try to see what folk art is gonna look like. Hopefully it paints really well, and it's a good way to get gold. Well, for me, I just adapt to it, man. You gotta keep up. I gotta. There's nothing wrong with bitching and complaining. Don't get me wrong, but I'll still play it anyway. The most thing I say I bitch and complain about is my dice. More than the codex, more than the nerfs, because if my dice don't roll well, it doesn't matter the nerfs or the buffs, I still lose. But I've been winning, so it's not necessarily completely my dice, even though you roll two dice and you roll two ones, and then you say, okay, I get to re-roll those, and you roll back into two ones. I'm like, God damn it. Dude, because ninth we're slow to die in entire dishes. What you talking about? Just accept it. Well, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it's rightful in some cases to complain, but at the same time, for me, this is my personal worldview. I like challenges. I don't like, even though Space Marines has a 40% win rate with the Gladius Task Force, I do tend to do very well. So, and that's the reason why I love playing them because I love discovering solutions to problems. That's just my life worldview in general. Whenever someone presents me with a problem, I love to find out a solution. Space Marines with a 40% win rate, I know the solution. Not really, but you know, it's just fun. Um, there is the games I play. It's like the survival type games, and I remember when me and my friend play. It's like it's the struggles what we enjoy. But there is a limit on how much struggle you can handle, though. I haven't reached mine yet, so. And I really enjoy the army. I really enjoy I like Gilliman and all that. Even though they nerfed them like really hard, I still, even though I complain, I still play. So I really can't complain. Actually, I'll be right back. I gotta go grab my other impulsor. I need to finish that. Be right back. Alright, man, take it easy, think. Alright. Definitely gotta get my whirlwind up too. With this pure pewter um, top. Huh. Hey, what's up, paint? Alright. Let's see how this gold does. Alright. So I bought some. Jeez. Hopefully my favorite paint, folk art, will will uh will shine through this day. Because the Liquitex Gold is kind of expensive, especially the whatever version that is in this glass bottles. Plus the glass bottles are terrible. Dropper's nice, but the glass bottles are terrible. Okay, let's try this one. Wow, that's very gel-like. Let's try this other one. Wow, it's very not sure if it's necessarily an ink brand, but they do have their acrylic ink. I need to tone down that brightness real quick. Does it? I don't know why they don't. There we go. So they do have acrylic ink, but they also have their paints. I'm sure they're a paint brand, a quote-unquote professional paint brand. All right. Let's see how well this baby does. As soon as I get rid of all this. It's very, ooh, that is not good. It's very sticky. Not very solid colors at all. I wonder if I can dilute this. See if maybe mixing it up will help it. Because that didn't go on there very nice. Like at all. Looks like I was just scraping it off. try that again. I mean, it does look pretty good, but maybe it needs to be liquidized a bit more. That doesn't look too bad. It may require multiple coats though. Let's try the other gold now. Yeah, you can see at certain angles it's like it's missing the gold. But then you turn it to the other angle, it looks like it has it. Let's try this one without dilution. Looks about the same. Maybe mixing two different golds will work. Nova Hill gold mixed with armor is a perfect mix. Not a bad idea. Worth a shot for sure, because this, the way it's spreading, I don't really like. It's like super thick in some areas and not so thick in other areas. The thing is like I apply the Liquitex acrylic ink kind of thick, but I know that majority of it is just the medium, I believe. And when it dries relatively thin, so I do like that. But this one, I don't know. This looks very thick, with two C's, kind of thick. Let's see how this. Now to mix it with some matte medium and mostly distilled water. 50% distilled water, 50% matte medium. Hopefully this will thin it down enough without losing too much of its color. Okay, yeah. Not much of a difference. Only in the thick areas can you actually see there is a difference. Let's apply it thin, and then let's do a thick one up top. Let's see what happens if we apply it thick there. If you've seen that, someone posted either in the Discord about someone that did electrolysis gold or something like that on their model. That's kind of crazy. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to apply it on thick there. Okay, let's see what happens when those dry. I'm saying right now, those golds are not looking promising at all. Alright, so this is pure pewter model, all with one single solid piece. Super crazy. It's too bad I can't remove the squished up Space Marine in there. Maybe I'll put I don't know, some green stuff or something over it to make it look like a HUD or something. Cause, I don't know, maybe keep it like that. There's still some Space Marines who haven't went through the Rubicon, so they're gonna be stuck in vehicles because they're the only ones that can fit into it now, especially the Whirlwind. Okay, I need my. Yeah, but you know that takes up a little too much time. Gold, just paint it once and it's good, and that one you have to take like 6 hours. I got too many models to paint. If I did like characters, that would be the time where I do non-metallic metallic. Outside of that though, it's going to be gold paint. Actually. And you know how long does it take to do the gold? You said 1 to 3 hours for non-metallic metallic. How long does it take for the gold? How big of a like 1 to 3 hours for non-metallic metallic, but how big of that is? For regular gold, it takes you the same amount of hours as non-metallic metallic paint. That's hilarious. Most of the time, it's me pondering about whether I should paint a third coat or not. And well, how does it take 1 hour and non-metallic metallics 1 to 3 hours? I mean, non-metallic, you have to wait for a lot of the paints to dry, generally speaking. Mixing golds, waiting for dry. Yeah, but you have to wait for each layer to dry to build up those layers. So for every layer, you have to wait however long it takes for it to dry. So I'd assume it'd be a lot longer than just mixing golds and waiting for the layers to dry. It all depends on the number of layers, of course. So if you have the same number of layers as you do with the non-metallic metallic, then it should take about the same time. But with non-metallic metallic, you kind of have to. Trust me, like for me, I would do that for my characters. Absolutely. That I think because it's only a single character that I think it's worth doing because it will look so much better. But in terms of like, say like every single Space Marine model, they have that gold. Are you gonna really do non-metallic metallic on like 64 models? I think for me that's like that's a nah. Now, if you do like Kill Team or like Infinity, I think that will work really well, honestly, because it's very few models. You might see me tomorrow pop up with a few streams. It's because I'm going to be trying out this new streaming software. So hopefully it works, but I don't know. So also at the same time, can't wait. I need to put my Beastmen into the blender so I can get them start painting them. My Kill Team Beastmen. So I'd like to try to paint something gritty, dirty. I can definitely do some. Hold on. I know we got most of it through. I can't really comment on like weights of the ship or like the weaponry on the ship. That's something that, it's whatever you want it to be, honestly. But just in terms of logical things, like again, the female of the squad of a particular race being that of the combatant. Let's see. Is this it? Okay. All right. I guess these are characters that we got to. See if I can paint without looking. I might be painting my thumb. Okay. I'm getting the doc. 30 page. You need to highlight the changes. But I guess on your words here, do explain the reasoning behind the females being the competent and how does reproduction. You don't have to explain the details, just like how does it work? Is it the females or males that get preggers? Okay, I'll turn this over. Hmm, there we go. I know this doesn't matter because that's not gluing to anything. But I guess I shouldn't paint it anyway. Just paint the outside of it. Okay, so I read the Ultramarines and the Crimson Moon. I have nothing to really say about that. Let's look at I'm going to their history. Um, I will say, if it would be pretty nice if you could put an image of them as I'm reading them, so I have an idea of what they look like too. Female get to carry the show. How long is the gestation period? But I mean, like, are they just, as if they're pregnant, are they still going straight to war, like right away, while they're pregnant? You understand what I'm planning on doing second doc, just pictures. Okay. But I hope you understand where I'm coming from because whenever you said that, it just, because you pointed out specifically, like everyone else, you didn't say like, the females or the males fought. But if you said both fought, that to me sounds like, the species is struggling because you kind of look at like the Ukraine war going on right now, where in that war, men are not allowed to abandon the battlefield. They are forced to fight. Females and children are allowed to leave. But the thing is, though, is that Ukraine is a very small country, so females have volunteered to fight alongside men. So in the Ukraine war, you have men and females, or yeah, men and women fighting together because They don't their population is not large enough compared to Russia. But you also look at that like in South Korea, where they have forced conscriptions. I think it's forced conscriptions, but essentially everyone has to serve, male and females, from their young years until I don't know how many years is required out of them. So the reason why they do this, again, is because their population is small and they need every person to be able to fight. So this is kind of the thing that, people who are in the military, when they watch war movies and they see things that just doesn't make sense, they question it. It's kind of like if you're a doctor and you see an operation and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this doesn't make sense. This is not how you do it." Or if it's kind of like, I don't know what you're passionate about, but if you like watch people play pretend 40K in like movies and stuff, right? And you're watching it, and all of a sudden you see someone's like, "I'm gonna move up here and shoot that guy, then I'll move this guy up here and shoot him too. Well, I'll move him right here so I can shoot him." You're like, "No, that's not how you play 40K." You'll notice those things that are like it's not quite proper, but they're trying because they don't understand. They just do it the way they think it's supposed to be done. Do you understand? I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like that's not how that works. Traditions, their final wars. Enslaved by sent lines. Okay. Yeah, because mind you, have terrible memory and trying to remember um, the races and what they are. It's going to be a little bit difficult for me. I have to read it multiple times to remember that stuff. But if I have an image, I can remember it a little bit easier versus a name. The tentacle guys. Well, no, you can explain it logically. Like I told you, did you do the research? Like I said, I have a feeling it's going to be a no. Man, this is taking a while to paint this one piece. Anime. Looking good, looking good. That bottom part should be dry. Okay, so the reason why I wanted you to look up a horsey or seahorse is because in that particular one, it's the males that give birth. I remember a comedian making a joke about it, where there's a scientist that's out there. It's like, oh yes, that's the male seahorse and that's the female seahorse. Actually, hold on. Let me look it up for you real quick. I want you to watch this. It's kind of hopefully they just have that particular part snippeted, and I'm sure they do. Um, Gaffigan? Is it? I think this is it. Hold on. I'm gonna be right back. Okay. There you go. Whenever your thing came up, whenever I read that, this is what I thought of, that video link right there. I hope you find it as hilarious as I have. Well, I'm not not actually to go in great detail about how things happen, just more of the overall aspect of it. It's only like a 30-second clip, so it should be pretty quick. Exactly. But that's the male seahorse. Like, you're fired. But yeah, it just made me think of that whenever, I remember watching. I do like enjoy watching like the Animal Planet stuff, and then I remember watching this guy, saying that. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of weird. I guess, I don't know if it's the only species in this planet that the male seahorse gives birth, but I don't quite remember the details. But I'm gonna make an assumption here, and it's essentially the females actually has the babies, I think, but they transfer to the males. So that's the reason why I think the males have the baby. The females take the initial part of it, but then it's transferred. So that's what you could use for your the logic for it. It's very similar to that of the seahorse, where while maybe the female gets preggers, but it's the males that carries it to term. So it's a more believable because they don't want to risk putting their children, I would assume, in danger. If you look at all the animals in the planet Earth, I don't think any of them throws their I don't think any of them throws their babies into danger. There are some that kind of does, but it's not because they want to. It's because danger has come to them. Egg cells, what they show up there. Yes, exactly, exactly. I remember looking that up too whenever I heard a joke or something like that. It's like the males have the baby. What is this BS? So there you go. That'd be a great way to justify your story for them. Well, not justify, but to explain the reasoning behind it. If any questions your authority, you'll fire them, like in that clip. You're fired. Need more uh, gunmetal. Actually, I should have looked for gunmetal when I was at Michael's. Gosh darn it. Let's see. Well, when it dries, it actually looks really good. The thick golds do look good. Like I put a thick layer on it, and it looks good. I can still see some details in there. The thin one looks good too, but let's add a second layer. Or, consume them. You know, why waste food? If you're if a different species, of course. It'd be weird to consume them as a same similar species. Let's add a second layer to that. See if it makes it look better. I just don't like how there's that thickness of the coat that tends to ride the edges here. Looks like it's scraping it off to the side. It's not good. Alright. Try the other gold and thicken up that other area here. I guess the only thing I don't like about it is just the sheer fact that if you try to thinly paint it, it piles up in certain areas and you can really see it when it dries. Especially if you can see this. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, there you go. You can see the far left one. There's that one thick strip to the right of it, whereas the middles are very empty. I'm currently in the work of explaining space life, life that lives in space. Scientifically speaking, let's see how gold looks on like super bright. This should be terrible. Yeah. Wow, it's pretty bad. Now let's see what happens with thick one area of it thick with 3 C's. There we go, and this one will just kind of thinly scrape it. There we go. Let's do the other side here in thick. And then thin. There we go. Give that as is. So, Ultramarine clans is pretty interesting, I will say. It's almost like the Necrons a little bit. Scientifically speaking, oh man, this has a lot of the emblems of the Aquila or whatever. But it's a sheer fact that, they were asleep for 3,200 years or so. Alright. Man, all I've done is just those 2 things. Not really a lot of talking and fixing up things, actually. I think that white axe looked really cool. I wonder if I should leave it white. It's kinda neat, I will say. Huh. I will finish him one day. So not too much has been done here, except for just experimenting with this gold. That looks pretty nice. Looks pretty solid. That, I mean, typically I don't paint gold over like light colors because it just doesn't look good. You can see the light colors underneath, but even with this paint though, you can kind of see the dark colors underneath it. With the cutter cleanse, we're not just for something. Where's the experiment? Oh, here's the experimental model. Alright, well, I'm going to pause right here. It's been an hour, and it's a bit of a tiring day. I'll try to finish up my Impulsor again, as well as my Rhino. That's going to be a whirlwind because original pewter model, which I need to. I don't know if I can just spray paint over it, but I'm going to clean it up and then repaint it. Oh my gosh, why is blue and red? That's because it's Blood Angels and Ultramarines. Oh, so this model's clear, right? It's my stealth suit. What I want to do is I'm gonna prime about half of it, like where my finger's at, and that part's gonna be colored, while the one that you can, the part of the model that you can see is gonna be clear. So it's like a transition between it going from, stealth to, from visible to stealth. This is the green base. What are you talking about? No, that's a green base. Oh, I see. Hold on. Actually, I ran out. Gosh darn it. Hold on. Gosh darn it. Let's see. Well, it's difficult, but I can't seem to pull this off anymore. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I got it. But there's actually, I talked to someone about this models, and it actually came up with a pretty cool idea. What I intend to do maybe next time is to print out just the legs. Let's see. Maybe print out just the legs, just only the legs. And what I'll do, I think, is cut off the leg, like right there. Only have one leg on the base, and then have that leg covered in mud. And that's the only reason why you see a leg there is because of the mud, but everything else should just be missing. It's just like a base with a leg. Yeah. So that was an interesting idea. He was talking about how people went in there with their stealth suit with just the base, with foliage and steps, I'm like, that's a bit much. I'll do the leg part though, just like a leg or two on the ground. So if we can get like just those two legs on the ground and then have mud covering them, that's the reason why you can see the legs because the mud is like attaching to the suit. I think that'd be pretty cool actually. But, a bit cheaty, but I might have to put like a tiny tree that's the same size as the model. Well, if you see the tree, then you can see the model. But you can't see the model because the model is obviously stealth. And that's actually lore accurate. They couldn't see stealth models. Anyways, I do have the pause right here. I try to stream over there at 4 to 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Try to stream for at least an hour. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up to stand up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.